Hey, Real Money Coach Nation. That's what I'm gonna call y'all now, right? I'm gonna call y'all the Real Money Coach Nation. And we are live. It is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it is Real Money Coach time. And you know how we do it. Come on in. Put into the chat where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country that you may be listening and watching from. So listen, it is, I can't believe y'all, it is already the 1st of May. We are already into May. I can't believe how fast the year is going by. And let me tell you something. I had a great weekend last weekend. Absolutely phenomenal weekend. I'll kind of talk a little bit about it when Michelle comes on stage with me, because we're going to talk about her goddaughter and all the wonderful things that has happened over this weekend. I ain't seen nobody say nothing in the chat yet. There we go. Alice Martin is in the house. Listen, Alice, so glad that you're here. I know sometimes you guys that on the there was a change with the StreamYard, the service that we use, where they're not allowing us to stream to the group anymore. And so because of that, I did post in there to make sure that you come over to YouTube. And it looks like Alice came over to YouTube. Thank you for doing so. Thank you for being here. And so we just want you to come over to YouTube. And if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and do that. It's just with social media technology, they can change things at the last minute, which they did. Probably they gave us some notices, but I missed it. So anyway, so we are glad that you're here, and we just want you to come and enjoy the show tonight. We have a phenomenal show for you. We always have these wonderful guests that come by and be a part of our program. And so this is no different than all the other weeks. And so we're pretty excited. And while we were talking, I'm trying to do a little hack on there. I'm not sure that it worked, but I did post it in the group in case someone's over there looking for the show. So let me not take any more time up. Let me bring on Michelle Mitchell.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Hey, listen, this is the one thing that I got to ask you. Everybody's safe, right? Everybody's safe.
Everybody's safe.
So
Yes.
tell us, I mean, we were just talking about it in the green room. What's going on up there in Michigan?
Man, we just had the worst thunderstorm, tornadoes. Like, it's been years, I think, since we've had a tornado, but we've had three today.
Three
Three,
tornadoes.
three tornadoes today. As far as I know, like everyone in my family, we're safe. But the FedEx distribution center is demolished, and
Wow.
there's like 60 people trapped. And my daughter works in the ER, and she just went started her shift at 7, and they didn't allow the day shift to go home. So it's bad. But we're all doing well here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Everybody's
Yeah.
safe. Everybody's
Mhm.
safe.
Everybody's safe.
And so thank God for that.
Yeah.
Chris Giles, thank you for being here. Chris, drop in the chat where you are watching from. I just love to know that. Yeah, that's pretty serious when we
Yeah.
have those type of um, storms.
Yeah.
All right, Christopher Patton is here. Continue blessings. Keep doing your thing. This is your executive bar. Oh, that's my barber, Chris Patton. Let me tell you something, Michelle. Chris has me spoiled. He has me spoiled. Let me tell
I
you,
know.
if,
Mhm.
if if y'all want executive barber services, like, I mean, and I don't know, I'm gonna just put my man out there because he is my man. And now this is how good Chris is. Like, we had graduation,
Yeah.
uh, right? Graduation. We had been to Punta Cana and came back and
Mhm.
just, and I just did not have time to get to the barbershop. And so, but so then, I was like, man, I really need a haircut. I text Chris. I said, Chris, man, can you come by the house?
What? Chris, you the man.
Chris is the man, right? So
Chris, you the
Chris
man.
rolls up, cuts my hair,
And Cam
and, and Carter.
and
And
Carter.
Carter, and Carter. And you should see Carter. If we get a chance, I'm gonna bring Carter in here so you can see his haircut. You might saw it on social media.
Yes,
He got his a big boy haircut
he
now.
got a big boy
He
hair.
got
I
a
did
big
kind of
boy
notice that.
haircut. And so Chris came by the house, hooked us all up. That's a real barber. And y'all
Yes.
want to know why I'm loyal to my barber, right? And the No Grease franchise. That's what I'm talking
That's right.
about.
That's right.
All right. Look here, y'all. Come here. Look at that haircut. Look at that haircut.
Carter, big
Carter,
boy.
Carter,
Say
say hi. Say hi to mama. You
hi.
like your haircut?
Getting
Yeah.
ready for your
Yeah.
birthday.
Yes. So he's got a birthday. So thank you, Chris, for coming by and hooking up the Jackson men. Right? So, for real. So you good.
Oh,
So
that's granddaddy's baby.
he's on his way to the BED, right? So
Yes.
Michelle, we just had a great weekend.
Yes.
Adrian graduated and with her master's degree. I don't know how this is gonna go. So graduated with her master's degree, and so we had a great time, and just that's just a reason to celebrate. And
It
you
really
gotta
is.
cover them
And I
things.
saw my other baby's picture. My little godchildren, they so cute.
Oh, you're not talking about Trey.
Yes.
Trey, Tony Jackson the third. So
Yes.
great legacy weekend, right? We talk about
Yeah,
legacy and all
absolutely.
those type of things. So
Mhm.
just real proud of what Adrian's done and really what they all done. Hey Sheila
Hey,
Johnson
Sheila.
is in the house. Sheila, you got to inbox me or something. We need to get Sheila on the show for a reunion, right? For a
Yes.
reunion. And speaking of Sheila, I do want to say this. You guys know about a month ago, Pastor Lindsey Bell was on our show, and I just want to give condolences to him. His wife passed last week,
What?
and so just condolences to my friend, our friend, um, and so this thing called life,
Yes.
for real,
Life. Mhm.
we don't know the time, no hour. That's why we need to make sure we get our business right,
That's
right?
right.
Get our
Mhm.
legacy right and
Mm.
all those good things. And so, and I think you shared a little testimony from Sheila that
I
when
did.
we had the utility lady, I said
Yes.
utility lady, please forgive me, but she was talking about how you can get, some credits and those type of things
Mhm.
through utility um, initiatives that the North Carolina and other states have, and Sheila had some folks, I think presumably maybe students that got a
Mhm.
chance to take advantage of that. And
Yeah.
so that's what we do at the Real Money Coach, right? We try to help everybody. If we can put some money in your pocket, we'll put some money in their pocket. But we're all about that legacy too, Michelle, right?
That's
All about
right.
that legacy. Um, and so that's what's been going on. That's
Yes.
yeah. So um, yeah, so such lot going on. I was just really
Yeah.
reading Sheila's
I
comment
know. Yeah.
about
Mhm.
Lori. So
Yeah.
so definitely praying for that family. So and the thing too is when you serve in the public, right?
Yes.
And being a pastor and certainly being a first lady really puts you in the public. And so we're definitely praying for that family. So for
Right.
sure. So anything else going on, Michelle? Anything new? What's going on?
Oh my goodness. Vacation fog brain, but I'm good. I'm getting better.
You
Today
getting
was
better?
better. So
That's good. Well, we have definitely some great things going on here, and we're going to show you just a little video. I think if we were able to cue that up, and so we're going to show you a couple commercials, our normal commercials, and then another short video, and we'll talk about that when we come back. And then we'll introduce our guest for the evening, Mr. Rialand Jones. Rialand Jones is an entrepreneur. I'm telling you, he's an entrepreneur. So with that, Dante, we'll let you take it off, take us to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Imagine a life where financial wellness isn't just a dream, but your reality. Welcome to a journey where increasing, protecting, and dominating your money becomes the new normal. With the Real Money Coach, embark on a path towards legacy wealth. Your financial future is not just a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. It all begins with your free financial wellness checkup. Join us at the Real Money Coach and discover the steps to secure a legacy of wealth for your family. The keys to true financial freedom are within your grasp. Let's build that future, starting now.
Do you have passion for your business but feel like your finances are falling short? Running a business takes more than a great idea. It takes a solid financial plan. Mitchell Consulting can help you turn your passion into profit with their financial advisory services. Get the financial guidance your business needs. Contact Mitchell Consulting to learn more about their passion to profit capabilities.
Our Legacies Foundation is dedicated to preserving and celebrating the rich generational legacies of people of African descent to be handed on to the next generation for them to do the same. Give the gift of legacy, one swing at a time.
Now, Michelle, do
Yes.
that look like fun?
It does.
That is
Yeah.
going to be part of the Power Networking Experience and Expo. And so we're going to have this networking dinner, Top Golf event. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I am going to drop in the chat if you want to be a part of that. There's like you sign up as an individual, or your company can buy a bay. All sorts of things like that. But it's just going to be a great time. It's going to be a great way to kick off the week of the Power Networking Conference. And so, and we'll make sure also that we put into the chat and get this queued up where you can buy your tickets and get 32% off. Now the normal ticket price is $880. Well, that's not normal, but $880 is what's on the website. But if you use the discount code, you get 32% off of that. And that includes you and a young person.
Yep.
So between age 17 and 25, you could bring, so that's 2 for 1. What do you call it? A BOGO?
Right. BOGO. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You
So
like BOGO.
there you go. So that's what's happening in Charlotte. It will be, as you saw in the video, it will be July 10th through the 13th. And so right now we have Master P is going to be here. We have also Bob Marley's son is going to be here as well. And we're this close to Tiffany Haddish being here. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great filled weekend with all types of training and networking. But you know, the networking, that's the thing. You know, come make some contacts, get some contracts, and let's have a great time. So, all right. So listen, Michelle, we have a wonderful guest. Now, our guest was introduced to me by someone that we both admire and like, Ari Squares. You remember Ari?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was on our show, and so I
Yeah.
told her we got to get her back. Um,
Yes, we have to get her back.
we got to get her back on the show. So Ari, if you're watching, you're listening, whether you're listening to
Yes.
the replay, we got to get you back on the show.
Yes. She
And
invited me to an event she had. And I don't know what happened. I never
yeah,
followed up.
timing or something,
I
right?
know,
So,
right?
yeah. But Ari's just, really, really a great
She
person. I
is.
love her business model and some of the things that
Mhm.
she's doing. And so she introduced me to our guest tonight, and it's Rialand Jones. And Rialand is a seasoned business coach, consultant, entrepreneur, um, Army veteran, was a sergeant, I believe, in the Army or Air Force, I think it was. Let me get it right. Air Force. Air Force. And so he is the mastermind behind a seven-figure portfolio of 4 premium brands. So we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about business acquisitions. We're going to talk about his journey. And so without any further ado, let's bring on to the stage Mr. Rialand Jones. Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
Hey. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate you guys.
Oh man, we're glad to have you here. See, we like entrepreneurs. We like movers and shakers and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And you check all the boxes, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that. I like to move and shake a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I look at your bio, I'm like, man, you got some major companies and done some major stuff. So we want to learn a lot about that. But before we kind of get into some of the business things, just
Mhm.
kind of tell the audience tonight a little bit about you. Kind of where you grew up and all that good Army experience, all that good stuff.
Uh, yeah. Well, I'm Rialand
I hate
Jones.
saying Army, man. I'm sorry. It's Air Force.
That's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you yet. Yeah, yeah. Air Force. I'm in Virginia. I came here by way of Baltimore City. uh,
Hmm.
back in the day, and yeah, graduated uh, in Fredericksburg. And then that's when I went to the Air Force. Did 6 years in there, learned a lot. I had the entrepreneurial bug when I was in the Air Force. I dabbled in a few things. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I just knew some of these things were cool. I tried all kinds of stuff. I was stationed overseas too for 3 years, so I was trying to do stuff over there. Uh, it was a whole thing. I made a little bit of money, but when I moved back to the States, it didn't really translate to anything.
Mm.
Okay. So
Yeah,
where overseas were you?
I was stationed in England for 3 years,
Mm.
um, at one of the Air Force bases there, and we deployed a lot though. So I probably spent the same amount of time deployed as I did in England, honestly.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. So got out the Air Force, decided I was gonna. I loved the Air Force. I learned a lot. I excelled relatively quickly for the format that it is. And but I just wanted to do this type stuff. I didn't know what exactly, but I knew I wanted to do something entrepreneurial. So I got out when my enlistment was up, moved back to the States. I even had my mom do like a power of attorney, did some of my paperwork before I moved back. Um, and then I did some things and lost a whole lot of money. That's what I did. a lot,
But you,
a lot,
you
a lot of money.
A
Well,
lot of
man,
money.
you know what? I thank you for saying that because a lot of people don't understand the entrepreneur journey and the risk, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, there is risk with
There
becoming
is.
an entrepreneur, having your own business. So tell us a little bit about that first business, a little, if you don't mind sharing a little bit
No.
about the lessons that you learned, what you lost, and because now we're gonna bring it full circle. But
Yeah. I don't mind sharing. I actually like sharing, excuse me, this part because it shows that what you just said. It shows it is a risk. and you want to be walking out on that entrepreneurial limb most of the time by yourself, right? And
Mhm.
the only people under that limb ready to catch you if it break are the people saying "I told you so."
Mm.
Mm.
It's not a safety net under there. To me that's the only thing under there if it break for most 99.9% of the people, myself included at that time, right? There was only a couple of people that was like, dust it off, let's try something else. But I came back and I was in a couple of my buddies was in kind of the club bar thing. So we started doing a lot of promotion. We started a little promotion company and we thought we would throw this concert, right? And we wanted in the area where we lived, there wasn't a lot of R&B, right? If you tried to have something that kind of catered to black folks, they almost shut it down. They would like try to find reasons for it to not happen. And even for us, it happened day of. We had all the paperwork, everything straight, but suddenly the fire marshal want to come out. This is an outdoor concert, by the way, right? And it was a whole that was a whole thing we had to deal with. But we thought it'd be cool. We did not listen to people who were smarter than us. This is the other mistake. We were like, let's do an R&B. They were like, you should do rock or country. We were like, nah, we're not doing rock or country. We're gonna do R&B. It's for our people, right? So we get we booked like I don't know if you ever heard of Raheem Devon. This was before he really blew up because he out of DC, right? So we was on like an hour from there. We had him. We had dang now I can't think of his name because I want to think of his name. But we had Jagged Edge was supposed to headline, right? Then
Mhm.
we Life Jennings was the other one, and then we had one more person like name I can't remember. So this costs a lot of money to produce, and we had this is pre any real social media. Our area didn't have an R&B radio station. We had to try to run ads in DC and Richmond and hope they bled over.
Mm.
Like spent the money. We was out there guerrilla. We had
Mm.
barbershops, beauty
Right.
salons. We out we had about a trillion flyers printed. We just out there, right? So we thought we knew we were doing, and we hired these guys that's what they did. And here's the other thing, like we didn't listen to the people that said you should have started with country or rock or something like that. We were like, no, we're gonna do R&B, right? Smaller, whatever. So then these guys come, we're like, man, should we get this insurance policy for weather? And they were like, nah, you don't need that. I was like, are you sure? And I didn't listen to my gut. They were like, because it wasn't that expensive in the whole scheme of how much this costs to produce,
Right.
right? So I was like, okay, I mean, you've done this before. I should have listened because don't you know it rained that
Mm.
day. I mean, and it wasn't even a heavy rain, but it was enough rain. You know, our people not going in the rain. We're
Mm.
not going. We're not going out there. It was outside. You got to deal with the ground gonna be wet. Your hair gonna get messed up. And I had hair back then,
Right. Right. But
right?
they
So
ain't playing that, bro.
right. So it was an interesting experience. That everything went well as far as how the show was produced. The people that did come loved it. The groups performed like they should have performed for getting paid what they was getting paid. But we didn't hardly make any of the money back.
Mhm.
And here's the thing: with you partner with a friend, once we lost the money, like we were friends for a little bit, then we
Yeah.
didn't talk for a little bit because the total that we lost was like just under $85,000.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
That's a
Mhm.
lot of money.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
lot of money. That was my biggest loss,
Mhm.
and it took a lot to come dig out of that hole. So that's the part of the risk for entrepreneurship. You like what? And I am a what's the worst that could happen person. And that particular thing was what's the worst that could happen? No one show up.
Right.
Well, well,
Rain.
pardon my French, that ish happened for
Right.
real.
Right.
so so it was, and the fallout from that is what's the worst that could happen, and can I work through it? Like that's the
Mhm.
lesson. And for me, I was like, yeah, I was willing to do that. So I was already working a full time job, so I added two more jobs
Okay.
Mhm.
to kind of get out the hole. I did have to file whichever bankruptcy it is, where they just pennies on the dollar or nickels on the dollar. I forget which one it is. Not the one that just completely wipes it.
Right.
I did have to do that to keep the people from knocking at the door for the amount of money, because a big chunk of that was just, on credit or lines of credit and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So that was my biggest loss, and a lot of people don't even know that. They remember the concert, even though that was like almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
They don't know that money was gone. I can tell you that.
But man, I was going to ask you, and you already hit it. Is what lessons? What would you tell a young entrepreneur that might be watching tonight? Based on what you learned from that experience, what would be one or two things that you would tell them in terms of advice?
My advice is always just be better prepared, and it circles around to the coaching and the consulting piece. That
Mm.
no matter what level you are,
Mm-hmm.
find a coach that can help
Yeah.
you, right? So if we would have had that person that I would have trusted, that would have said, move a little bit different, push the date here, get the insurance for this, that, and the third. Like, let's really evaluate the genre. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
I might not have gone through that, but that's also what makes me what I am right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Right.
did it suck in the moment? And for years, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the result of which is us having this conversation, right? So
I love that. Michelle. I mean, what I'm saying, hearing you say is you don't outgrow a coach. I mean,
no,
Don't.
you don't outgrow a coach. I
Yeah.
mean,
no, you don't. I don't think you ever outgrow a coach. I think maybe there's a little bit of a misnomer when you talk to people about coaches, that they think, oh, I'm just gonna have it for this one little period, then I'm done with coaching. But I
Yeah.
have coaches right now, and they're CEOs who have coaches. They're executive
Hmm.
coaches.
At
right.
every level, you need one
And
Yeah,
because you don't know what you don't know at that level.
right. And it,
Yeah.
and
we
sometimes
don't always see everything.
Yeah.
you
You
can't,
Sometimes
can't.
you need
you
an
can't.
outside. You need an outside vision, right? You need
Hmm.
Right.
someone else to look
Yeah.
from the outside in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think that's very good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fast forward to today, man. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about what you're into now.
Uh, Fast forward to now, we got the four brands that we have. I'm in the acquisitions. COVID, everybody picked up a hobby. I stumbled across the acquisition thing and just kind of fell into it, and I just started doing it. As like, let me just try it, because the person that I was learning from was like, make these calls, try, get your reps in. So I did that, and then
Yeah.
found a deal. Actually,
And
it was
found the
like, oh,
deal.
So
this is
tell us about it. Tell us about the
Yeah.
type of acquisitions you're doing and
yeah.
walk us through that.
So, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm actually doing this call with you guys from one of the businesses. This is a chocolate business, a chocolatier company, gourmet chocolatier boutique. We're in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And oddly enough, during the acquisition thing, I was looking for a pizza place actually, in
Mm.
Richmond, Virginia, and then somehow this popped up in my search. So I reached out to the broker just to have the conversation, learn what to say, what not to say, because they don't want to waste their time, even if you kicking tires. So you got to sound a certain way to not let them know that up front, right? And then I was like, man, I wonder if this could work. And we went the SBA route for this one. So now I'm talking to like banks who have SBA stuff going on, and then you got to fill out the pre-qualification stuff and all this. And I really just did it just to go through the process to see what happens. I think that's a lesson right there too. That a lot of people will avoid the process because they see the steps and like, oh well, I
Yeah.
can't do any of
It's a
this one.
lot.
And they
Yes,
just
it's
like,
a lot.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do as much of this as possible just to see what the process is, learn, because rejection teaches you
Yeah.
what you need to fix.
Yeah.
Even though
right,
people are afraid of, oh, they gonna tell me no, I don't got the right credit. You don't know that.
Yeah. You don't know.
Maybe you do.
right.
You don't know till you talk to the people and go through the process. So we did
Hmm.
that. We got qualified, obviously, and then we started talking to the former owners. Had a few meetings. We got the brokers going on. They use brokers, so we're doing all this. It took us just under a year,
Okay.
start to finish, to get everything in place. and actually close the deal um, to here. And so this was our first acquisition. It was another brick and mortar. We have a gourmet popcorn shop in Richmond, or just outside of Richmond, Virginia. That's about 7 years old. And then we decided to do this deal, right? So we're about to hit the 2 year mark here. And then I just kept looking for deals. Like I'm also just nosy. So I'm always like looking and talking to people. I'm like, hey, if you know anybody that's ready to exit, or if you know anybody that's about to close down,
Yes.
right? I'm interested. And that's what I did. So in acquisitions, you could use brokers, but really over the last few years, it's mainly just telling people that's what you're into. Hey, you know anybody? And tell them what sector you want to be.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, you guys know anybody? I would go to networking things and be like, is there a donut person here? And then, oh yeah, such and such got a donut shop. Oh, okay, cool. Can you introduce me? And hey, then we talk about. I'm in the confectionery kind of space, so we kind of talk
Mhm.
about that. Where you getting your sugar from? How's your cost of goods? All this. Hey, look, man, how much longer you think you're gonna do this? Oh, I'm getting a little bit older. I want to retire and move down with my grandkids. Oh, cool. Well, when you're ready to sell, let's have a conversation. I had a lot of those type conversations.
Patient. And
Yeah,
a lot of those seeds are probably starting to
Yeah.
turn up and that type of thing. I
yeah,
would
some of them. And you just got to be ready to know that, this is like anything. In the moment, some people can be hyped. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when it actually comes down to
Right.
it, they change their mind. And that's just that's
It's
part of the
part of the
game.
process.
Process. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
So,
I
yeah,
love
it was,
That's a
that.
good opportunity though. Now I don't think about it.
it is, it is. And I
Yeah,
think,
because the baby boomers are transitioning into retirement.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and there's so many of them.
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. And
And
so there's so many. I don't know if you were on with Ephraim was on Michelle. I
Yes.
think he might, yeah.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing is you got baby boomers who are now
Yeah.
exiting
Exiting.
the workforce, right?
And
mhm,
yes, in some
And
of those businesses, they will not be able to sell,
they won't
they
be able
will
to
not,
sell.
and their children don't want them.
And
right?
the
And
children don't want them because
yeah,
I'm tired of making
Yeah.
donuts,
Mhm.
right? I
yeah,
got
yeah.
Yeah.
to do this the whole life. I don't want this.
Yeah,
And so
and I'll tell you some of them, and this is anybody that's like that want to get into the entrepreneurial space or business owner space, but not sure what they want to do. This is also a viable route, depending on how much you want to work, right? I think a lot of times, maybe it's just in our community and the conversation that I've personally had. People
mhm,
think you got to bootstrap everything, whether it's
Mhm.
with your own money or whatever, and start from scratch when you don't, because some people really start a business, they still like having a job, and their business is a job, right?
Mhm.
So for us, I'm still kind of a hybrid. I have a business. I didn't want to buy a job. This business
right.
got a whole
Exactly.
staff,
Yeah.
got a whole staff already.
Mhm.
Now, am I involved in the day to day? Not really. Am I involved enough though? Because we need to do what I want to do. Yes. And then eventually, I won't be around. The staff will run the thing, and as long as
Mhm.
everything looks good, they will rarely see me,
Hmm.
right?
Well,
Because I didn't want
that's
to buy
the
a job.
whole Kiyosaki four quadrants, right?
Right.
Hmm.
Yep.
Right.
So, employee to you own a job to you own a business and then an investor
An
Yeah.
investor.
and cycling through that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I have seen too is I've seen some people say they may retire early and then but they're not ready to stop working. So they might go out and buy a business. Hey, I want a coffee
Right.
shop or I
Yeah. Yeah.
want type of things too. And that could be another way that you can, acquire business. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
again, as you mentioned, you can be from the investor standpoint. So you can be,
Mhm.
and because a lot of the concepts, if you may agree with this, a lot of the concepts from one business to the other is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got a different product on the shelf, but a lot
Yeah.
of the processes, a lot of the details of that are the same, whether you're chocolate or popcorn or what's some
Right.
of the other you mentioned four brands. What's the other two?
So one of them is a premium gift box business,
Mm.
and that was another just happenstance fall into because we were having these conversations, and sometimes it's because it's already a client.
Mm,
Mm.
So with this brand, um, they were heavy on makers from like the Richmond area of products, and it didn't necessarily have to be consumable. Some of it was, candles or little towels or whatever. Um, and they put our popcorn in some of their boxes, so they were already a client.
Mhm.
And then the founder sold it to, she had other businesses and she got pregnant, so she went to focus on that one other business and then have a family. She sold it to one of her employees. She had it for a couple years. It didn't really do what she thought, but also she admittedly was like, I didn't really put in as much effort probably
Effort.
as I thought, and it didn't really
Mhm.
do. I'd rather just go back to having a 9 to 5, which is perfectly fine. So the founder actually called me and said, "Hey, such and such is ready, kind of tired of this. She's trying to figure out what to do." So I called and say, "Hey, if you really are done, I feel like this will tuck nicely under the umbrella of what we're trying to build.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and maybe we should have a conversation." So we had a conversation, and here's the thing again: people change their mind. We had a
Yeah.
conversation, and well, she changed her mind, which is fine because she's still a client, right?
Right.
Right.
And then fast forward another like 10, 11 months, she
She
called me and
ready.
had that conversation again.
She ready.
She was like, I am done. I am
Yeah.
done. So what can we do? So because she was ready to just close, she
Mm.
actually
See?
didn't call me
Exactly.
till after.
Yeah.
I saw an Instagram post that was like, "We're closing."
What?
And listen, you were in Punta Cana, right, Tony?
Yeah.
We went on vacation there last summer, and we're on the bus coming back from something that we did outside the resort. I'm just on Instagram, and I see the post, "We're closing." I said, "I know she didn't say we're closing, and she didn't call me." Right? I had the international on my phone for the week, right?
Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah.
there like, I screenshot it and texted to her, "Hey, I know you didn't just say we closing and you ain't called me." And she was like, her response was, "I knew I was going to hear from you." And I said,
Wow.
"You're damn right you're going to hear from me after I see this." So we started having that conversation again.
Wow.
As we moved into the fall, we came to an agreement and a deal, and we took it over going into September. And honestly, at that point, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I just knew it was a very, very good deal, and it would tuck nicely under the umbrella once we figured out what we would do with it. Besides just, yeah, you can still go there, build your own box. You can pick one of the pre-built boxes we have. You can still do all that stuff right now. But how do I really want to handle this business so we can scale it to where we
Right.
want to, or grow it first and then scale it?
Mhm.
So it kind of was just on the back burner, but we have it there and it still does stuff. And this year is when we launched the thing that's going to be the thing for this business, right?
Got it.
So it's going to be cool. I'm excited about it, and it folds nicely into what I already do, which is the fourth brand, which is just my personal brand
Got
underneath there. So where I'm teaching this type of stuff, we're talking about gratitude marketing, how to leverage gratitude marketing to grow your bottom line, right? Without costing a lot of times more. People think it's super expensive. It's freaking not.
So
Especially when I show you like how to recycle the dollars that come from gratitude marketing. Because back another thing like business that I had was a DJ business. I was a wedding DJ. I had a wedding DJ business for 12 years. Right? Look, Michelle, when I say I'm an entrepreneur, I done done like 27 things. Right? I can't even remember all the stuff. Sometimes people are like, "Hey, you remember when you tried to do car detailing?" I'm like, "Damn, I forgot about the car detailing." I did it for I did it for 2 months. It was like, it's too hot out here. I'm not doing this. It was cool. I'm like, this is too much labor for your boy. I can't
so
wax
so
the
so
car.
talk to me about gratitude marketing. What is
Yeah.
gratitude marketing?
So
Let's hone on that.
gratitude marketing is basically leveraging your current clients to get you more clients. So people
Mhm.
always want referrals,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and if you can get your referral funnel consistent, you don't have to really spend money on just ads for new customers. So the way we use gratitude marketing with the DJ company, which by the way, once we figured this out and started like the last 5 or 6 years, we were almost referral only. We were like 95% referral
Mm-hmm.
to the
Wow.
point where our close rate was also, this is a legit number, for 7 years, our close rate was 97%.
Wow.
If we had a consult with you, you were booking us to
Mm.
do your wedding, and we were not cheap. That's not because we were
Mm-hmm.
definitely not cheap. We were 2 to 5x the average DJ at the time.
But you were sold before you even went to the
Yep.
consultation.
People
Because you
came in ready
referred.
to
Yeah.
give the money, so we
Yeah.
used gratitude marketing as part of that, and it came from being broke. This is birthed from brokenness, right? So I was like, how can I get more customers? I don't really have a lot of money. What's the impact that I can make? So then we start coming up, oh, well, after the wedding, what can I do right after? And back then, photographers weren't trying to share images. And this is just one
Mm-hmm.
example, right? You got to think, if you think there is no box, people are like, I don't want to think outside the box. Well, think that there is no box and you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. It's your business. You can do it, right? So I said, what can I do? Oh, photographers always say they're going to give me the photos and they never do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I hired somebody to take pictures for me. I took them to weddings and they took pictures for me. So I took those photos and I was in a MLM at the time. I didn't really do anything. I just got it to get the thing cheap. And it was a card. It was a
Another
card
business.
company. And it
Yep.
was, right? It
Yep.
was a card company, like a greeting card company.
Greeting card
It was
company.
a greeting card company.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took all the photos and then you could upload your own image, create your own cover on a greeting card. And they would ship it in the mail. And they didn't come to me first. They would ship direct to whoever. So I
Mm-hmm.
would take the photos, upload it to the thing, and make a 5x7 greeting card. And then they added a service where you could have a giant greeting card that was basically a 8.5 by 11, like the cover was an 8.5. No, the cover was like a 15 by whatever. It was giant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so okay, I take it back. It was an 8x10. Anyway, so I would upload the photo, and also you got to see what is the shortcoming of other people in my industry. So
Mm.
in the wedding industry, photographers is notorious that they take a long time to edit and get back
Mm-hmm.
the photos. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, I got my own photos. So the first photo, and if anybody's a DJ watching this, you getting the free sauce right now, right?
Yeah.
The first photo they got of them, like in their first dance or some
Mm-hmm.
moment from the reception, was from me, not the
Good thing.
photographer. And a
Yeah.
photographer could have done the same thing, and
Yeah.
none of them did it, right?
Yeah.
None
Yeah.
of them. So I would mail them the card. It had a genuine message on the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would open it, and it was frameable size, 5x7 or 8x10. They
Right.
cut it and then put it in a frame.
Put it in frame.
So now they always got it. Who is this
Yeah.
DJ that sent me this image of this special day for us? It was us.
Yeah.
And then we just built. That was the first thing, and then we just started building on that, and then we kind
Mm-hmm.
of worked backwards. How can we do that earlier in the process? So
Mm.
we go on a consult.
Mm-hmm.
A few days later, you were getting a package, and and again, we started building this out. There wasn't a lot of extra money to do that because, to be honest, the same time period, I'm paying off part of that 85K still,
Right.
right? I use this to do that. I just went to the Dollar Tree and got a bunch of stuff, put it in the box, wrote a letter. Thank you so much for meeting with me. And here's some more free sauce. Thank you so much for meeting with me. Hey, look, planning a wedding is a headache. Put some
Yeah.
Tylenol in there. When you get a headache, take this Tylenol. Planning a wedding is a lot. Y'all need a night off. I put a microwave popcorn in there and send them you could back then you could print a thing for Redbox. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
gift card to Redbox.
Yeah.
Go rent you a Redbox and it was $1 and change. And here's a microwave popcorn. Y'all have a night, just y'all don't
Movie
think
and
about the
chill.
wedding.
Right.
Yeah. And it had a couple things like that, and they didn't even book me yet. This is just for having
Just
the
the
consult.
consult.
Yes,
Right.
I decided that it was more. It was worth it for me to spend $12
Yeah.
to do this to get this client than it was to spend the same $12 to try to run ads because I didn't know a lot about ads back then,
Right.
and it wasn't the same as it is now and all that. But that's what started the gratitude marketing like kind of journey, and then we just started doing that for everything.
I love it. I love
Every
it.
we do
Yeah.
it for the popcorn
Love it.
shop, we do it for here, we do it's just the gratitude marketing thing, and you get to recycle the money, right?
Mhm.
So if I say I'm gonna spend $25 on this, well, every time this client sends me a referral, it still costs me to save $25. I don't have to keep. If you run ads, it's 25. I get a new client, I spend another 25. I got to
Right.
spend another
Right.
20. This one client might bring me 5 people for the same $25.
Yeah.
Now my new customer acquisition is $5, not $25.
Right.
Right.
Right. So that's that part of it. And it freaking works. I love and it can't be fake. You can't put a coupon code on the back of the thing.
Right.
Right? Oh, thank you so much. 15% off. You can't do that.
Right.
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 Right? It
Right.
has to be real. You have to really
Genuine.
care about these people. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's
I
what it has
love
to be. And it gets me. Look, you see, I'm juiced up.
Yes, you are.
I gotta
it.
keep marketing, man. All this
I
stuff gets
love
me
people
hyped
who
up,
have
man.
passion about their businesses.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah.
love it.
I'm
And,
telling you,
and the
man. All
passion
this stuff.
about the process, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
process of
I
it.
love that. I love
I
that.
yeah.
love it.
So,
You
man,
gotta be passionate about the process. If you just want the end result and you're just passionate about that, you're gonna not be successful. Period.
Right.
and
Mhm.
that's what you run into a lot is
Yes.
I call it commission rev, right? So if you're only thinking about the end, but you're not thinking about the process and taking care of people and
Yeah,
Yeah.
caring about how they feel,
Yeah.
that's going to come back on you for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
So, man,
yeah.
as we're wrapping up the show tonight, if someone wanted to get into the business acquisition,
Hmm.
what advice, what one or two things would you tell them is this is how they should start?
I'd say you want to let people know that's what you're into. So
Mm,
you got to start with conversations. And I wouldn't even think about how you're going to make it happen as far as like financially, because you'd be surprised what you could work out.
hmm.
Like you could seller finance these things, and people are like, oh, seller
Yeah, that's
finance.
true.
You do have to explain what that is to some people. Some people know, some people
Sure.
don't. But understand that $100 million companies plus do seller finance deals, right? Somebody's not coming with a check for $100 million. That's not how it works. So I would say have the conversations, and then not operate from a space of I don't have any money or I don't have enough money. I see a company, and it could be smaller. I see a company for sale for 100K or 150K. Well, I don't have 150K, so I shouldn't even talk to them.
Hmm.
That's not necessarily the case because that's an asking price anyway. That's not
Right.
even saying that the company is even worth that. And that could be any. It could be $1 million. And we talked to somebody who was trying to sell for 3.2 million, which I thought was absurd. So we didn't come to a deal, and now it's 2.95, and
Hmm.
then it's going to go lower, and then they didn't want to do seller financing before, and now maybe they're into it now. I don't
Hmm.
because it's been 1 out of 12 businesses not going to sell. The other 11 are just going to
Yeah,
close,
Right.
and
they
then
will
of
just.
that one, they have to stay on the market for like 12 to 24 months.
Hmm.
So that's the kind of stats you're working with. If you wait to the end of 24 months, there'll be some good deals out there. So have a conversation. Don't operate from a place of I don't have enough money. Be open to creative financing. And I would say if you want to do an acquisition, know what your wheelhouse is
Mm.
so that you're not coming into something like you have no idea about anything. Maybe you're super good at like HR stuff or managing and motivating staff. You could do that at any business. You don't have to know lumber. It could
Right.
be a hardwood floor company for sale. You can learn lumber, but if
Right.
you a G at managing people and motivating people, you could acquire that business. And if they already have profits, that's the objective. You're buying the profit anyway,
Right.
Hmm.
right?
You
Right?
profitable business? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing in acquisitions. We're purchasing profits for the betterment of our portfolio, which translates over to our personal life. We all have families. I got kids, wife.
There
What
you
do we
go.
want? What do we want to do? Right, Michelle? That's what we're doing.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's it. I absolutely love it. And then those of you who are watching, we have his contact information scrolling across the screen. For those who may be just listening to this later as a podcast, just tell us how to get a hold of you. What's your preferred method?
yeah. So you can email me at Rialand@RialandJones.com. I actually put up a little thing on my calendar for you guys today. Anybody that listens to this and they just want to have a quick kind of discovery call, normally is $50. I cut it in half for you guys. If they go to workwithryland.com, it's the only thing on that page for them. They can book that, $25. We could talk about acquisition if you're interested. You already have a business and you're trying to grow it anywhere between 100,000, 300,000. If you're trying to grow above those things, you can book that. We could talk about, how I may be able to help you with that as well. So I cut that in half just for people listening to the show tonight and tuning in tonight, or listen to the future as well.
Well, awesome. Listen, man, thank you so much for coming by. Michelle, another great show.
I know, right?
Listen, this is wonderful. And for those of you who may be watching who do not follow us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will continue to bring you the best of the best, like Mr. Rialand Jones.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. It was great. It was
Here.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody, listen, make sure that you tune in next week. We'll have another great guest for you right here on the Real Money Coach Show. So with that, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next week.
All right, good night. Thanks, everybody.
Yay.
Peace, everybody.